Hello YouTube, I have not had a video in a long time, so in celebration of the Defenders coming out at midnight, or tomorrow in this case, I decided to show off a few of my Marvel Netflix customs. Might as well start off with the guy who started this whole thing, Daredevil. Now, Daredevil, obviously his red suit, because who's gonna make a custom about the black suit? And it's a little speck there that I can't get off. But yeah, I do enjoy how he turned out. Didn't do the belt buckle because I couldn't get it looking good, but eh. And also the face, I think, turned out pretty well. And this whole thing, this whole helmet was made out of an old 2006 Batman cowl, cut from the nose all the way around, and then the bottom was all sculpted. And after all that was done and was glued into place, I then had to paint the mouth and the stubble. And then the horns were glued on after. And as you can see, it's not symmetrical, but I think it works. So, also for 3 out of the 4 Defenders figures, I gave each of them a kind of accessory. And for Daredevil, I gave him not his billy clubs, but I gave him an alternate head. And this is a Matt Murdock head, but I don't even use this side. I only made this side for a photo I did on my Instagram page, which is at RampagingRhino2814. Go follow it. It will be, the link is in the description below, but like I said, I don't use this face. I use the alternate face, which is, excuse me, but taking a little while, but anyway, this is the face I use. The whole beat up and bloody look. My cat just walked in, but anyway, you got blood splatter below the mouth, you got a scar on the side, and mark over the eyebrow. I just love how this turned out. And yeah, that's pretty much it for Daredevil. But I just love how the suit turned out, and the head, and especially the cowl, or the head, the other head. I just loved how he turned out. Moving on. And going in with the whole chronological thing of the Netflix series, next up is Jessica Jones, if it will focus. Now, the design on the jacket is kind of hard to see, but it is there. It is all there, just not on the back, because I knew I was going to use this hair from some sort of Lego friend set. I just stole it from a friend, but I knew I'd use this hair piece, so I didn't do any designs on the back. And I usually do curved torsos, but considering that the jacket, the first try I did, kind of covered the curved torso, I decided just to put the jacket onto a regular minifigure torso. And I really love how it turned out. And I got the fingerless gloves, which he has in the series, and the boots with the jeans. I didn't do anything special for the design on the boots because I just couldn't get a good look at the boots. So, and like I said, Lego Friends hairpiece, but the head, if I check, yeah, I just used a Supergirl head, focus, and just added eyeshadow, little lines underneath the eyes to kind of give her crow's feet or something. And I painted over the mouth. I tried to give her a frown, but I couldn't get rid of the smile. But, and her accessory, if you've ever watched the Netflix series, her accessory is alcohol, or a beer bottle or a whiskey bottle. She drinks a lot of alcoholic beverages during the series and just in the Defenders trailers alone. So, yeah, Jessica Jones, her accessory is alcohol. So, yeah. Moving on. And I guess technically Luke Cage. Luke Cage is probably the simplest figure out of this whole thing, I guess. But the head was a War Machine roadie head that I stole from a friend, and it kind of got chewed up by his dog. I'm not sure if the camera doesn't want to pick up on it, but you can clearly see that it's marked up, and all I did was paint on the facial hair and got rid of the back printing, or the double-sided face printing. Painted on shoulder blades and such. And this I got from a Lego minifigure collectible series. I think it was Neptune, or you know the character I mean. And just took yellow arms and painted his skin, his flesh tone, because I couldn't find any brown arms to go for him. But I did give him brown hands. I didn't have to paint it, but you can clearly see that I didn't paint there, which I'm disappointed. And I don't like doing this a lot, but sorry, my chair just keeps squeaking, but I don't do this a lot, but I gave him extended legs. So shout out to Moosefigs. I think he's the one who did the tutorial, but I gave him extended legs, which is pretty useful for bigger characters, because if I just bring in Jessica Jones, you can kind of see that Luke Cage is taller. Bring in Daredevil. He's taller than Daredevil. But yeah, the actor Mike Coulter, who plays Luke Cage, is considerably taller, and Luke Cage in general is a bigger character, and I didn't want to give him bulkier arms, and I didn't want to somehow extend the torso, which would have been a good idea, but I just didn't want to do that, so I gave him extended legs. So, and I think it worked out good. He doesn't have an accessory, though, so I couldn't really think of an idea, but if you want, here, he's got a beanie. Yeah. Next up, following the whole Netflix chronological thing, admiring some of my DC figures in the background? Good. Anyway, the next figure is Ironfist. Focus. Now, I actually made a quick little decision to replace the head. Now, the old head that I used was actually an Indiana Jones head. Focus. But yeah, this head I used to use for Iron Fist, but I decided didn't really look like Finn Jones, the guy who plays Iron Fist. So I used a Peter Quill head, like, all the way from, I believe it was 2014, when the first Guardians of the Galaxy sets came out. But obviously over time, some of the printing had faded, and I think it kind of works. Little Netflix Finn Jones, Iron Fist, Danny Rand. But yeah, works good. A lot of people use the thin hairpiece from Star Wars. I only have one of those hairpieces, and I use that for Falcon. And I don't want to paint that yellow. So I just use the blonde Mutt Williams hair. And before I did this, I used to use the head for Aquaman, and I never used the other side. So that's why his face is kind of messed up on the back. But yeah. So, and obviously you can see he's got the paper jacket Well, not really a jacket, but kind of a button-up shirt. But you can see the detail I put on his torso. I did all the abs and the Iron Fist symbol on his chest. And that actually took a bit more effort than I thought, because, well, then again, looking back, it is a difficult design to get right, so, yeah. And his legs are just really boring. I just put pockets and shoes. And if you know anything about Iron Fist, if you're brand new, you should know this, but for his accessory, I gave him his Iron Fist. This is made up of 2 yellow Lego hands that I glued, painted, and I actually used black paint and then went over that with yellow paint to give it that this look. So, yeah. And just for the sake of it, I'm not going to put his helmet on, but here is a look at all 4 defenders. Now, like I said earlier, this is a showcase for the whole Netflix Marvel series. So it's not just these 4. Moving those aside, might as well show off one character that I know everyone loved. It was the Punisher. Straighten him out. There we go. And you can clearly see he looks phenomenal. Patting myself on the back behind the camera here. But, I gave him the Bruce Wayne hairpiece, and actually, the face is actually the Bruce Wayne face. But, obviously, marked up a bit. Bushier eyebrows, the beard. But yeah, just look at the face. I love how that turned out. And beneath the trench coat, I just gave him 2 random weapons that I customized. But the torso, I think, looked perfectly. Just look at that. Like, the light reflecting off of it, off the torso. And to answer your question, why does it look like that? It's because I use Sharpie to make it completely black. That's what I do for a lot of the figures where I need completely black torsos. But yeah, I just love how the skull turned out. And yeah, it just looks so good. Plain black legs and the waist piece, which already has a buckle on it. And I know what you're saying, I could have used that for Daredevil, but I didn't get this belt piece until after I finished Daredevil, and I didn't have the red shade anymore. Yeah. And obviously, paper trench coat. I make my own trench coats / jackets, like I did for Iron Fist. But yeah, I just love how Punisher turned out. And it's rumored that he'll show up in Defenders. Probably not, because it's only 8 episodes. Probably going to take place over a week. Or maybe like 3 days, 3 nights. Yeah. So, I'm just in awe of how good this turned out. So, moving on. For fans of Daredevil, I got Foggy Nelson. And he is really nothing special. I just gave him a painted Dastan hairpiece, or Doc Ock hairpiece. Painted face, which, fun fact, I don't use this for Foggy Nelson. I only use this for a photo, and people liked it, so for the sake of this video, I decided to put it on Foggy. But I use this face for my Jughead. And for the sake of it, I'll just quickly show you. there's my Jughead Jones. But, yeah. Like I said, that head is for Jughead. Not Foggy, but the head works good for Foggy. But, yeah. The torso is, if you can see it, the torso is from the Daily Bugle attack set from so-and-so years ago. This is J. Jonah Jameson's torso, but obviously you can see the shirt's kind of messed up. The bag here, or the satchel, is Indiana Jones, and I just gave him shoes. That's it. So, I'm going to give this head back to Jughead, but moving on. Now this one I only made for the sake of it, and I will admit I half-assed this. I made Stick. Like I said, it is nothing special at all. Like, it's just a poorly printed head and a kind of messed up hairpiece. I tried to do the same thing I did for my Ghost Rider head, but it didn't really turn out, so yeah. Just a messed up Mandarin torso. And these legs I was going to use for Prowler, but that, I have no idea what I'm going to do for Prowler, but like I said, this I just half-assed. And obviously his accessory is a sword. It's a pretty messed up sword too. But I just bumped the camera. Now, when I display him, I always display him holding the sword like this. I don't know, it just makes him seem more like a master. But, yeah. Stick, not my favorite, not my best, but like I said, I just made him for the hell of it. Next up, Colleen Wing. This one I made because at the time I was watching Ironfist, and that one is not my favorite Netflix show. Obviously, number one is Daredevil, then Jessica Jones, then Luke Cage, then Ironfist. Although, tomorrow, my number one is probably going to be Defenders, because have you read the reviews lately? So, yeah. But anyway, Colleen Wing. No curved torso, obviously, because I can't find another curved torso. I don't order mine. I always carve them my own. Like, you can clearly see in the background, Gamora, but I shave or carve them out of regular torsos. But yeah, I don't have my tool for that. But yeah, here's Colleen Wing. And remove her hairpiece. And I just did her face on the back of some head I got from Indiana Jones set. So that's the back of her torso and the front. Now I based this design off of obviously the comics and the one scene from Iron Fist where she's in the fighting ring. And I think I got Jessica Henwick's, however you pronounce her last name, right? I even got the little mark. I want to say mole, but it's kind of a negative word, but yeah, I think I got her likeness right. And probably the last one is just Claire Temple, or Night Nurse. Now, personally, and please don't hate me for this, I'm not a big fan of Claire Temple. She's just a little overdramatic. She has funny moments, don't get me wrong, but sometimes she's just too overdramatic. And yeah. I have nothing against the actress. I just don't like her character. Like, she's too overdramatic or something. I don't know what it is, but people like her. She's necessary to the Defenders. She's in all the Netflix shows. So, I made her. The likeness, personally, it doesn't look like the actress, but it works, I guess. But gave her the Wonder Woman hairpiece, or the Miss Marvel hairpiece, but I don't have Miss Marvel. I only have a knockoff Wonder Woman. So, and the arms I got from a Batgirl from the Lego Batman movie collectible minifigures series. And yeah, it's just pretty boring. But I guess it works, so. And no accessory for her. And I guess, just jumping back, the accessory for Foggy is his bag, so. Now, this I'm only going to show to you once and for a brief time. I've only made this for fun, but I made a suit for Ironfist because he didn't have a suit. And I thought it would be cool if he had a suit, finally. And this is still a work in progress. So, yeah. But yeah, that is my Netflix series, or custom Lego Netflix Marvel minifigure series, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to line all of them up. Ooh, I forgot one. I guess, for the hell of it, I made Melvin Potter. Because I'm making a mock, and I wanted Melvin Potter in there. So, here's Melvin Potter. And the head I made out of a J. Jonah Jameson head from the early 2000s Spider-Man series sets. And I think it works. So, yeah. And obviously, no accessory for him. But yeah, so I can now do the outro. So, this was my custom Lego Marvel Netflix minifigure series with Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Punisher, Colleen Wing, Stick, Last Minute Melvin Potter, Foggy Nelson, and Claire Temple. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments section. Also, here's a little quick thing. Who do you guys want to join the Netflix series? Personally, I want Tigra to join. I'm a big Tigra fan, and a lot of people don't agree with me with my fan cast, but I think Peyton List should play Tigra. Not the one from the Flash TV show, but the one from Jesse and Bunked. Peyton Roy List should play Tigra. Not with this costume. This is just my own design, but let me know what you guys think. Who do you want to join the Marvel Netflix series? And I guess that's pretty much it. Can't wait for Defenders tomorrow night. Good night.